By the way, I mean, I hope this meeting happens, and I hope it happens between 1 and 3 p.m. Eastern time.
What meeting?
President Trump says he will meet with Mamdani. Let's listen in his own words.
The mayor of New York, I will say, would like to meet with us, and we'll work something out. But he would like to come to Washington and meet, and we'll work something out. We want to see everything work out well for New York.
So, what do you think?
No, the president's right. He'll meet with anyone. That's one of the things about him. He'll hear the proposal, but the idea that the president is going to somehow be welcoming of the policies that goes against everything that he believes in, I don't think that's going to happen. So we'll see how the meeting works. Hopefully they can work together. But if New York think they're going to be able to live in isolation without the federal government, when this city is already in debt, I don't think that's
I think it's
work.
really interesting, though, because there was a lot of Republicans who were saying Trump will campaign against all his policies and the failures of them for years to come. There's also the fact that President Trump was born and raised in New York and cares deeply about this city. So to have him meet with the mayor-elect would, be a natural next step. Maybe he can prevent total disaster.
Contrast that with Joe Biden, who wouldn't even meet with Eric Adams,
right?
A fellow Democrat, because he came out and said the illegal immigrants coming into our city is bankrupting us, costing us billions. We want reimbursements. We stopped meeting with him. But this is the thing. The mayor of San Francisco told you the game plan. The mayor of San Francisco heard that the president was coming with ICE and others. He picked up the phone and said, look, I think I can handle it. This is what I'm already doing. Look at the improvement I've already made. Give me some time. And the president said, okay. And that guy's got 73% approval rating among the city in San Francisco. He had no experience in the public sector, but he knew what the problems were. So if you're a moderate Democrat, a reasonable Democrat, if this guy wants to change, I'm not convinced he is. He will be, President Trump is not dug in and said, just because you're a socialist, I won't work with you. But the other big story that he's got to worry about is law and order, and he's got to keep Jessica Tisch, one of the most popular police commissioners in the country. She has not made up her mind yet.
Yeah, he said he wants her to stay. Let's watch.
I do want her to stay, and I made that commitment during the election. That's something that I continue to believe.
Will she stay in that office?
I continue to be confident in my decision.
She has said more than once that the officers, she wants more of them. And you don't have that in your positions yet.
I think that the number of officers that we have is the right amount. I think the better question, frankly, that is often lost in our politics is how do we keep those officers on the force?
Yeah, but we have a shortage of officers right now.
About 5,000.
Yeah, so we still need more. Number two is, okay, you want her to stay, but under what policies? If it's under her current reign, which she's gotten crime down, then that's okay. But if you're going to reimagine the criminal justice system under her, it's not congruent with what she believes.
I mean, you just have to kind of rewind in your mind where he was just a couple years ago. I believe it was 2022 when Mamdani, called for defunding the police, and he apologized later on. I think people need to decide on their own what that means, but this is going to be obviously a really important decision for the city.
Number one, she's got to say, these are my demands. I got to continue to staff the academies. Number two is do not get that private independent counsel to decide what's going to be disciplined when it comes to cops. Number three, the whole social worker go to domestic disputes will not fly. And I think this is the time. These are my demands. If you don't want them, I'm out. I could do it to make a ton of money in the private sector now, and my security is like the hottest thing right now in the country, so I don't need it. Remember, Bratton came in under Bill de Blasio, and after a while he said, I can't work for this guy, and left. So she's got prestige. Don't give it away. Extract something from it for our sake, please.
It's not just that, too. It's Rikers as well. He said that
He's
he
trying
wants
to
to get rid of it. So where are all those people going to go? That's the question. And does that mean that once you reach that cap, that the New York police stops doing arrests? He has to explain that.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.